Yo, what is this, Gaby? Water walking on a mid lane? Champion, what is this? So, let me explain it to you guys. Water walking. So, water walking can give you from 13 to 30 AP plus 10 bonus mobility, which is just nice to have, of course. While also, notably, this only works in the river, of course. This is how it scales per level, so you can see it with your own eyes, of course. And if you compare it to Gathering Storm, now Gathering Storm gives you nothing until 10 minutes, then it gives you 8 AP, right? Which is already less than water walking plus no mobility. Now at 20 minutes, notably you're gonna add the 24 plus the 8 together, so that's gonna be 32 more AP, which is also not conditional for you to be in the river. So at that point it will be better. But the thing is, until you reach the 20 minute, and it's better than Scorch, just because if you can like hit multiple abilities with that bonus AP, you're gonna make up for the lack of Scorch, of course. So I wouldn't really go for Scorch on long range mages over of course the other options now. Okay, but why would you do that? Why would you go for water walking? So for example, you know, simply said, we can place a dummy down, right? And so if you only use one ability like your Q, it's gonna do like 100 more damage, you know, little bit your rune damage gonna be amplified, you know, like your arcane comet, whatnot, right? So we're only gonna do like 100 damage. Now if you walk in the river, it's gonna be a bit more, right? In fact, your wave clear can be a teensy bit better as well, but it matters a little bit more once you have 3 abilities up. Now, when you have 3 abilities up and they're amplified by your AP, which also increases per level, then that damage gonna be a bit more significant, right? That damage gonna be generally a bit more significant, right? Because there is actually quite a decent amount of difference, you know. Especially when it comes to your R all-ins, because you're gonna shoot multiple of those Rs, both the stacking damage and the base damage scales with AP. So when you shoot 4 of those shots, you're actually gonna get quite a decent amount of value out of that bonus AP you get from the river. So that's a very notable thing, right? Better trades, better wave clear. Now occasionally you will wave clear better, because in here the minions didn't get killed, as we can visually see. More than often it will happen if you are behind or something, or at the earlier stages of the game. It may happen occasionally. And so in here also the thing is that these minions are a little bit also under leveled, right? Because I leveled up to 6 really quickly. And so this is what the river bonus AP can smoothen out your wave clear actually. Just as a general thing to watch out for. Because if you are in the river, you may be able to clear those minions very smoothly. Like look, oh shit. Okay, we got reset the wave state, guys, a little bit so you guys can see it. Deactivate it, reactivate the minions, skip like 30 minutes, and in here we use the river, and more often you'll get to push with more ease in the river. And this is mainly recommended on range champs that, look, I'm in the river, but I still can hit the enemy champion from the river side, right? And so the main reason why this threat works way better right now than in the past, just because the river is way closer to you. So you're less so exposed to potential ganks if you ward upwards, right? And you definitely need to set up vision before you abuse, of course, the river. And this also helps you to deal with those Pepega, Bard roamers or Braca roamers, because they perma tend to like gank you early on supports. So it helps you to avoid those pesky supports that want to perma roam in you because you're hovering upwards, right? This is the safest spot in here at this edge, because in here you're very close to the close to the tower as well. So this is usually your safest guess. Although it's a little bit bugged as well, because you are still in the river in here. I'm just not sure why does the game not detect you as you're in the river, and you gotta be slightly deeper. I don't exactly get it why, right, but it's just kinda like that. But at this part of the river you can be a bit more outer, so this part is a bit bugged. Occasionally it's bugged, so this is just a bit weird, but clearly you're in the river, so just saying. But this is also a relatively safe spot, you know, like, to stay in. And notably, you got to be careful if they have queen. So if you want to play it out the safest, you can control ward this area, you can ward this area, so you have proper vision over collapse windows. And basically, it just really comes down as well, like how many objectives there are, right? Before Gathering Storm outscales water walking, just because they're gonna be objectives like void grubs, right? So we got two void grubs, two rotations of void grubs that we can rotate for with more ease, with more mobility, more damage. It's way easier to secure them. So that's a turbo nice thing to have actually. So because there are extra objectives like void grubs, multiple drakes before 20 minutes, this is gonna generally serve you better than Scorch or Gathering Storm. Just because of its power in the river, while also notably a lot of junglers, what do they do? Even in these days, junglers enforce Scuttle Scrub. I know it's stupid, but people will enforce Scuttle Scrubs. It doesn't matter in what rank you are, trust me. If you're like, probably at least in Challenger, people realize it, but trust me, when I played in Master, more than often people also did enforce Scuttle Scrubs. It's just like that. It's just money. It's just like that, guys. So, remember, Void Grubs, people enforce Scuttle Scrub, multiple drakes before 20 minutes, heralds perhaps, and other opportunities, for example, you walk bot lane, you wanna just R-gank them, you know, and you get the bonus damage, right? Like, I wanna R-gank this Garen bot lane, which probably gonna see like Saya bot lane, just I added a Garen bot, right? And you'll be able to get a juicy amount of extra damage on your R. This type of like, this water walking applies to like multiple mages that can abuse it, like Ziggs, Xerath mainly, long range mages, but it can be fine on a Lux as well. It just really depends on your champion, of course. You can even get it on an Ivia, Twisted Fate, the speed is valued on Twisted Fate, the AP is really nice. So it just really comes down to like how often do you want to skirmish in the river and how long ranged you are. Now you may also take this on melee champs, but it's way more recommended on range champs just because you can get your range and you can get outside value out of it because you are ranged abilities, right? So you can actually like hit stuff. And this will be also really nice in the occasions, of course, where people wanna contest Herald, Void Grubs, whatnot, and you have some vision there and your pokes are way more potent, so you'll have way more pressure in general when it comes to like poking people away from a certain objective, which is again just great to have beside like a stronger all-in. What else is there to mention about water walking? Just be careful about not getting collapsed on. Like, you gotta set up vision, preferably. Like, you gotta get that control ward, perhaps. You gotta get that for consistent vision, right? Like, if you only have one ward, depends, you know. But you can get definitely a control ward, and then you can have like proper safety. For example, you can ward one upwards, and you can ward one like here, and this, generally speaking, will provide you like a decent amount of safety. Against top collapses and the bot lane. The issue with like bot collapses is that they don't have space to reach you. Like, you see them already. Like, this Rakan gets out of this bush, right? You see him already of the minions, and it's like, oh, he doesn't have space to collapse on you, right? So that also like takes a lot of weight off your chest. Now, is there something else to talk about water walking? At most, that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day, and remember, use water walking on range champs like Xerath.